Good evening and welcome to the Preston Community Center Board of Governors meeting for February 2021. And you haven't heard this in a while. The first order of business is approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Been moved in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Next order of business is approval of the December 7th board minutes.
So moved. Second.
I have one correction. The woman who came to my concert is with NDCC and not DMV.
I'll correct it.
Thank you. Okay, so it's been moved and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Next order of business is the approval of the December 7th board action.
So moved.
Second. Been moved to second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. Next order of business, the chair's remarks. Gee, it's great to see people. I see people on Zoom, but that is so. That is so. You haven't lived until you've done Zoom with me, because I can get it on my phone first, and then I get it on my tablet, and they'll say you're on two different things. Okay, I'll get rid of this one, but you never really do. It stays there, and then I can never get it the right height. So it's like it's cutting me here. Or they're saying we can't see your face, and then I have to. But Joanne Norton just lies in her bed. She's the most fun. She just relaxes and does it. This is Black History Month, as we know, and there are people saying, why make it just 1 month? Let's have it from February to January. So this is my poem tonight is from Langston Hughes, and it's entitled I Too. I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to the kitchen. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody will dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am American. And did you see the Amanda Gorman's speech last night?
She's on fire. Everything she does is good.
And the other one that I haven't seen the entire thing, but there's one from the museum. They had her last year or year before or something, and there's one of, she has a poem there. So she had done this before the inauguration. She's an amazing child. She's got an agent. We can't put her down, so. Okay. Oh, and speaking of which, you see, Abraham Kennedy has another book.
Yeah.
The 400 Voices. I don't read that one too. Next, introduction of visitors. None. Next order of business is the citizen input. We have none. Next order of business is the December 7th long-range planning meeting. Mr. Booker.
All right. So we met on December 7th, and it was basically a meeting that we normally have on the week after, 2 weeks after the preference poll, and it was postponed this year. So it's our annual opportunity to speak with Supervisor Alcorn, and he came in, and there were a lot of things that were gave us updates on, including the comprehensive plan update, some ideas around Lake Ann Plaza, and what should be done there, and what the vision is there. RTC North, the value of transportation, and just a bunch of different questions regarding things that were going on in the community. And so Walter thanked us for his time, and congratulated us also on the CAPRA accreditation, and looked forward to RCC continuing to play a very important role in the human services component of Reston, this part of the county.
Thank you, sir. So the next order of business is move to accept the December 7th committee meeting report.
So moved.
Second.
Then move to second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Next order of business is board member input on activities attended since we were last in, we'll remember.
Pick somebody to start with.
Dick. Let's start with Dick.
I attended nothing.
I was there too.
I would like to give a shout out to Claudia Thompson-Beal, who recently retired
Oh,
from
wow.
RA without much fanfare in this time. After 4 decades of being Reston's Lorax, and taking care of all the natural areas, and we owe her a debt of gratitude. She was a true servant of the community, and I just wanted to acknowledge her.
And what's the plan for her successor?
I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. There needs to be a group.
Well, Katie Shaw moved from the foundation, so what's Katie? Katie Shaw moved into another position.
But she's still with RA.
Yeah, but did
Yeah.
she take Claudia's position?
I don't know. I will check with her.
I think
That's
that's what happened. I think that Katie moved into
I
Claudia's
hope they
position.
didn't combine the two.
Yeah.
Right.
No, because Kia Cole
Kia Cole got hired.
is the director of the foundation now.
Rustin now had a convoluted story about it. But it's,
So that's what happened.
I am
it
behind.
was, it didn't make any sense.
Yeah. Kia Cole Hines is her full name.
My name.
Real child of Reston.
We just lived the COVID-19 lifestyle for yet another couple of months. Didn't really go anywhere. But the big news, as far as Mary and I are concerned, is we got our first shot. And we're gonna get our second one in about a week. And we will, 2 weeks after that, we'll just feel so much more comfortable.
Party at Dick's house.
Pardon?
Party at your house. 3 weeks.
What I'm looking forward to most is going to a restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, I've learned a lot about cooking over the last year, but I really would like to have a professional chef cook my dinner sometime. And we just haven't, because we haven't felt easy doing it, even though it was kind of possible. But anyway, that's what it is.
I kept company with Vicki there, not doing a lot. I had a couple of board meetings with Southgate Community Center. It's amazing what they are doing in this virtual times and this kind of lockdown. They're still providing quite a bit of community over there. And the card just needs to be committed for what he does in the staff support. So I was kind of just more of a liaison to the board, but you know what they do. Got gifts and things out for the kids at Christmas time. Just do a lot, just really, so that community which can really fall through the crack and is suffering a lot of these COVID things, helping out a part of it. that's mostly me, and then just also just I want to give a shout out to RCC. As I've been doing some things in the county on my own, it's one thing that RCC has always been really not just out in the community, but reaching out to those people that are sometimes hard to get or who might be marginalized. Do you know, follow them, even though Western is an inclusive community, you really do reach out and bring people in. And I see that when I'm working with other people, like, we really do that well. RCC does it well, so I was like, wow. So people who don't know about this treasure out there in the community, you should get involved. It's a good thing. So I just want to give a shout out to Lyle and the staff. You guys do a good job.
Lots of meetings. Lots of meetings. But the series, the equity series, with my cohorts, all of you, we did 3 of those, and they were fun and engaging. That was kind of cool. I've had a chance to attend another event with Center Stage on Saturday or Sunday. Saturday night. That's really good. Small crowd, but nonetheless very effective. And it had been their first performance in over a year.
Regina Carter.
Carter. Of Detroit.
Well, they were from New York, but her music, her piece was all about Detroit.
Well, she's from Detroit.
Original.
Yeah.
She's living in New York.
Living in New York, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, and I would like to give kudos to Kirk Kincannon, our director, whose last day is this coming Friday. It'll be a huge loss for the park authority and for the county, but wish him well in his new endeavors. And we are on a national search for new leadership. So that's going to take up some time. And I did get my first shot, sorry for moving away. And I get my second shot on Wednesday.
I'm older than you and I haven't had one yet.
You haven't? Oh, no,
No,
that's
they
not-
canceled. I had one scheduled for this Thursday. It was canceled. They don't have enough.
Because, I mean, we're the same age, so you should be.
Yep. Well, I was on the books until last Wednesday.
It's a lot.
And I got a thing that said they don't have enough.
We got ours through our family doctor.
And, well, my doctor has nothing. But this was through Innova. And there's been canceled.
That's a shame.
Of all the adjectives I would use to describe the equity series, fun is actually not in my top 5. But it was meaningful, and it was, they were good discussions, and so certainly I like that. So most of this is reaction. And Dick, you're a better person than I. You want to go out to restaurants so that a professional cook can cook for you. I want to go out to a restaurant so that a professional waiter brings me food, a professional busboy takes my food away, and a professional dishwasher cleans the dishes afterwards. But I also want to get out to a restaurant just for slightly different reasons. Let's see, also PTSA meetings for Salt Lake High School, so it's been good getting that sort of, engaging with that stuff. A lot of work trying to plan for sort of the stuff that we're going to be doing for the seniors in this, winter and spring leading up to graduation. And also all-night grad party, figuring out what the heck they're going to do. And it's, because for instance, maybe they won't do it at the school. I have my doubts that this facility is large enough to do it, but I don't know. Anyway, so gotta figure that out. I watched but did not participate in a Fairfax Human Services Council meeting. I was appointed officially 3 weeks ago, so which was like 2 days after their January meeting. So I guess I'll be reporting back on one of those soon. And the biggie is yesterday evening. What were you all doing around 7? At 7, I was picking up my daughter from here after her first day of work, working winter swim for RSTA. But doing winter swim here. So it was, so it was great, her doing her first day coaching. So,
Oh, could you tell us something about the schools and when or if they are going to get back in the classroom and at what grades? I read a lot in Reston Patch and the like, but I'm never too sure what's happening.
So first of all, yes, I can, and I will endeavor to do so. They are bringing back, the order in which they're bringing people back, I would say, is not really ideal, in my opinion. I think that they are bringing back, this one. All right, February 16th, so is that, next week. Groups 1 through 4, which is mostly career and technical education and some special ed. February 23rd is pre-K, K, and some more special ed. March 2nd is grades 8, 9, and 12. March 9th is grades 7, 10, and 11. And March 16th is grades 3 through 6. So by March 16th, they have everybody back in the buildings who is elected to be educated in the building. I tried to phrase that carefully. A, if you chose all virtual, you're not going back. Except if you're a teacher. If you said, I don't want to come back, but you don't have an ADA exception, you're coming back. So it will be an interesting transition. In my opinion, I give it 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, South Lakes will be on hiatus, I believe, but we'll see.
So, and the teachers' unions are okay with all that?
Oh, you probably hadn't got the news. We're actually in Virginia.
Yes, I noticed that about 20 years ago.
And so because we're in Virginia, Virginia is a right to work state,
Yeah.
which means that the teacher unions are really affinity groups. Like they're affinity groups.
Okay.
Like they just don't have the teeth of unions in other states. Say for instance, Chicago, just to pick one at random.
New York, Philly, Detroit.
So really the unions are, in terms of being a barrier to schools doing whatever they want to do, they are not as effective as some might imagine.
Are teachers getting their shots? I was.
Yes.
Yeah, teachers are.
Yeah.
I know a couple of teachers in DC and they've all had their shots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I didn't know whether Fairfax County.
But it was paused. It was paused, and so just like it was paused for Beth, it was paused for teachers as well. A bunch of them have already had them. Some got their second shots today. I saw that. My wife gets her second shot tomorrow. And so I wouldn't say they are in full swing, but because they're going to have some, and keep in mind, it's not just about teachers, right? So it's staff, so the janitors, it's the bus drivers,
Yeah.
it's the front office attendants, right? All of them, and they're not going to have them all vaccinated by March 16th. And you need to have that second shot, plus, by the data I've seen, about 4 weeks needs to go by for you to hit really sort of that really strong. I mean, a couple weeks and you have good safety. 4 weeks is that, like, almost twice as good as 2 weeks. So they are not going to be there. And so we'll see where that goes.
Okay, thank you.
2 weeks, that's your bet.
My bet is that they will be back in session for 2 weeks, and then they will start to
Probably
shut
right.
down, at least in cohorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 weeks after the second group comes
Right,
out.
right.
So that's it?
Yeah, Bill, I was saying my daughter teaches at Common Ground, and they have had no pause. But they have, all the windows are open all day. The children wear their little coats and masks all day, and they have to be outside a certain amount of time.
Right. And which is, by the way, one of my frustrations with Governor Northam, is that in his press conference, he said, we've been doing this in child care centers for a month. The logistical challenges in a child care center with 50 kids is really different from a school building with, let's say, 150 staff and 1,000 students. So logistically, it's really different. And not every child care center has had the sterling outcomes that Common Ground has.
They've been excellent, they've had no problems. And my daughter just had her second child on Thursday.
Nice.
But, yeah, I remember she got hers, and the whole system had crashed because all of the Fairfax County teachers went
Oh, yeah.
at once.
Yeah.
And talking about the panels that we did, you know, they were interesting. I wouldn't say they were fun. But, and through my church, I've been doing on Monday nights and will until the 22nd of February, we're doing a series of classes on me and white supremacy, which has been interesting for me because they're two black members of the session, and tonight, I guess Minda's there alone. But it's been interesting watching the people realize white privilege, because it's not something that you think about. It is, because it is. And it's been an interesting time, and they are very serious because they realize that how much of the problem with racism and systemic racism has been condoned by the church as it will. And so they're all very gung-ho to try to make some changes. So that's interesting. Okay, next order of business is the executive director's report.
Ah, God.
I'm
telling you, if they aren't fogged up, they're twisted and falling off. I know you all mentioned the panels. You know, there are 4 more. There's one in February, one in March, one in April, and one in May. So I'll send you those dates. And then hopefully we'll, by the end of summer, be on footing where people can be together again. But I would also urge you to look at the long strategic plan update and the grid of the Facebook live streaming stats that sort of is, you know, it's a snap in time because the numbers will change all the time, but there's a very impressive number of views for those live stream events, and they're still up on our Facebook page too. So the last 3, if you want to refer people to them. And then the only other thing I wanted to, there's a series of motions that have to be made tonight because of the suspended strategic planning session and also the 3rd quarter review process that we would have normally talked about on last Friday. So the first motion that has to be adopted this evening is a motion to approve the memorandum of transmittal for the agency 3rd quarter report to the Department of Management and Budget.
So moved.
Second.
Then moved in second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Do you want me to read the motions?
Yes, thank you. But the ones on this page.
I'm in.
Okay, great.
I move that we accept the recommendation of the Department of Management and Budget to increase the Western Community Center submitted target for revenue from real estate taxes as presented in the agency's draft FY '22 budget from $8,505,019 to $8,930,260.
So moved.
No, that's, no, a second.
Second.
I tried to be
All those in favor, it's been moved and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
I move that we extend the applicability of established Wrestling Community Center planning documents to compensate for the impact of COVID-19 in processes required to permit public engagement with the broadest cross-section of the community feasible. This will extend the applicable period of the following: agency goals and objectives review in April 2021, approved in May 2021, RCC vision, mission, and values review in April 2021 and approved in May 2021, and the 2016 to 2021 strategic plan 2020 update review in April 2021 and approved in May 2021.
Second.
It's been moved.
There are no specific dates on this. Just April.
Only months, only months.
No, we will have to, the last Friday and Saturday in April is the time I would propose that we convene the Friday, Saturday session. That coincides with our facilitators' availability and gets us as late as we can get and preserve the same amount of time for community engagement from that point forward and still finish this piece of business before the end of this board's functional term.
For me, I prefer if you get specific dates as early as possible, because as soon as Mary and I feel more comfortable, which will be March, we're gonna go visit our daughter and grandchildren in probably March or early April. And so we'd like to plan that consistent
Sure.
with board activities.
Sure, I'll shoot those out. It would basically mean the weekend prior to the May board meeting, but I'll send that out.
I think it's April
25th?
23rd is a Friday.
And the 24th?
23rd, 24th, yeah.
Wait, April?
Yeah, right?
Is it the 24th of Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do a 2-hour
Yeah,
session
2
on
days.
Friday
Yeah.
and a 4-hour session on Saturday.
Yeah, yeah, so 23, 24.
Right.
Okay, as long as we know, and we can plan a Seattle trip.
Sure.
Oh, the 23rd I will not be able to make. My niece is getting married, so,
Wait, which one?
Lindsay, the one who lives in my basement after.
That's cute.
All right, well, I will circulate some possibilities and we'll go with the Friday, Saturday. We can get the most board
Yeah.
members and staff jointly to attend. But that's why I didn't put dates here, because it'll be
Stuff here,
a little harder to.
all right.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor.
And it's been second.
Okay, it's been
And
moved.
we've had discussion.
Yeah, that's it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
I move that we extend the period established previously from January to June for board, staff, and community engagement on strategic plan development to an equal period from April through October, following restoration of safer in-person meetings for the purposes of discussion, engagement with stakeholders and the larger community, and subsequent drafting of a new RCC 2021 through 2026 strategic plan.
Second.
It's been moved and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Thank you, Paul. Great, so that takes care of a big chunk of my report, and I just want to give you some highlights. The shift in the revenue projection represents about a 5% increase in what we anticipate will be the case for revenue, and if the taxpayers are able to make their tax payments in 2021, it should be even higher than that. So that situates us really well for the FY22 budget that we've outlined. If by the time we reach the carryover part of the budget process, we feel that we should allocate more to some of the spending categories, which we'll know in that April-May timeframe, carryover affords us an opportunity to do that, to assign higher numbers to what right now are very lean expenditure profile. We've hired a new maintenance worker, and the RFP draft that was sitting in the DIT queue for review has been returned to us, so we just have to incorporate those suggestions and then push that informal RFP out on the street. And then very, very surprising and delightful news, our colleagues at the Department of Public Works Building Design and Construction Division submitted our aquatics project for an award to the Mid-Atlantic chapter of the American Public Works Association. And the Reston Community Center Aquatics Facility Renovations Project is the winner for the...
Oh, that's very cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's neat.
In the category of structures, $5 to $25 million. They are proud to have this project represent the public works profession and association, and a chapter endorsement for this project has been forwarded for national consideration. So
Wow.
they're gonna submit the project for the same category in the national awards.
That's very impressive. And we're at the bottom of that weight class.
Yes, we
So
are.
that's really impressive. When you just make the weight into that weight class and you win, that's very impressive.
Yeah, I surely hope that the bottom line comes in at $5 million,
Yeah.
because there is a possibility that we might save enough
In that
money to.
regard, is the punch list finally done?
We're very, very close to the project closing out. Most of it has been accomplished, and then there are, because of the weirdness of the subcontractor issues and the related impact on warranties, there's a lot of custom warranty writing that has to be done to account for the kind of staggered completion dates of the plumbing and the HVAC and blah, blah, blah. So it's very, very close. And when that happens, we'll see a big $800,000 or so bump back up into our revenue profile that will end up largely in our reserves. But nonetheless, I will tell you, I asked them to send me the award package that they created just to see what they thought were the real important factors. So they touted a great deal of the application, touted the recycling and the saved and salvaged materials from the project, the fact that they adhered to LEED standards even though they didn't pursue a LEED designation. But the big things that they felt strongly were, in addition to all their work, that really fall in our envelope of responsibility, were the 2 years of engagement that we undertook with the community prior to the commencement of the project, and the component of public art from the very outset of the project. And so they put together, they had a lot of great also, as you can imagine, before and after pictures, because truly, and I do hope this gets broadly when we're back in the swing of being a normal operation, and we celebrate Capra and we celebrate this award, and we really bring people back in sizable numbers to the facilities. It makes me very happy, given all the criticism that we took from different parts of the community about the management of this project, the price tag for this project, the validity of it, and the fiscal framework within which the board undertook doing it. And it's just really a lovely validation of the work that went into this, the processes that went into it, and the actual project itself. So I was very, very happy to see that. In terms of programs, we continue to do what we can do. I think some of you may have seen the swim team. Thank God for swim teams, because they're a lot of bread and butter in our revenue bucket. And they're all highly and technically monitored for their health. I suspect after this year, they're the healthiest teenagers in America are teenagers on athletic teams. We had to, of course, redesign the Summer Camp Expo event. That's normally about a 300-odd person experience. We flipped it to a swag bag that had a lot of it, all the same booklet of information about all the different summer camps that are offered in the area, and then games and things for kids and families to do. And we had a little more than 40 families enroll and pick up those bags, so that was good. And we are seeing enrollment in summer camp. And then that's led us to design sort of monthly family fun bags that people can enroll and receive. And like February has, Mardi Gras stuff in it, and Valentine's Day, and activities that families can do together. And then there's another one coming up for March, and another one for April and May, and I hope we never have to do them again after that. One of our fitness instructors, a family member, caught COVID, and very difficult COVID experience, and so they have been off, and that's had a considerable dent in our participation because of their fans. So we're substituting other classes, but there's a very ardent fan base for this teacher. And I think it's good. I mean, hopefully it won't be too awful for her family, and give her a little break before she comes back to us. And that's it. Please do, before April, look at all the material that was sent to you. We will poke you and remind you, because it is a considerable amount of information, not just about the plan itself, but also this whole past year and what has been done to address the COVID-19 emergency.
With respect to summer camps, is the current thinking that there will be summer camps?
Yeah, we had a huge scare on Friday because there was a rumor Thursday that went all over the place that Northam was going to mandate year-round school and extend the school year calendar. So we froze enrollment Thursday, just because, if we don't have to do a refund, it's better not to do a refund. And then I listened to his news conference, kind of hilarious, because I clicked on the Governor Northam news conference, but it was from a year ago. And I was listening to him say, schools are closed for the end of the calendar year, and I was like, wow, this is different from what I expected. And I couldn't believe it. And then I was emailing with Paul about it, saying, did I hear this right? And he's like, no. Maybe he said something about childcare, because he seems to want to mix up childcare and da-da-da. So I went back and found the right news conference. But no, here's the thing. Philosophically, I would like nothing better than there to be year-round school. If this country doesn't get to year-round school soon, then China can have the world, because we're just going to fall behind. But the reality is that that demands a whole of community planning approach to how you augment and support that calendar, and how we change or transition our work from that one odd season when we're all day every day into more consistent before and after and continuum, and even moving moving our content to the school facilities themselves so that, you know, there's a distribution of resources and opportunities across the whole landscape of where kids are. So it was a little, you know, I felt on the one hand, I was ecstatic that summer school wasn't mandated, so we didn't have to go back and replan our whole summer. On the other hand, I was philosophically deeply disappointed because this is, to me, such a missed opportunity to rethink entirely what are we doing. You know?
And look, and I've been a fan of year-round school since I was a classroom teacher. So I didn't come to this recently. I've been a fan of it for a very, very long time. We can talk about why later. But they will not shift to it this year. I don't think that they will mandate summer school this year because there is too much fatigue on the part of both educators and students. So I really don't think they're going to do it this summer.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be clear of major conflicts with Fairfax County Public Schools this summer. I think. Because you're right, you can check.
Yeah. So, yeah, life goes on.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a good thing.
You have a question? Just punctuating that. Next order of business, any old business? Any new business? What is that?
It's clearly, it's a fan issue. And I'll be trying to log on to Asset Essentials after this meeting and send a repair note to Fred, because it's driving me nuts.
I move we adjourn.
Oh, are these curtains the new ones?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the dividers, the room dividers, yep. They are?
Second the motion.
Right, there you go. There you go. Motion and a
All
second.
good.
Call a vote on the dividers?
No,
You wanted to adjourn.
And she seconded.
And I
Oh, she
second.
said, oh, I can't hear you. It seems like you have something over your mouth. It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn this meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting of February 8th, 2021 for the RCC Board of Governors is now adjourned.